Hello and welcome. This is Grant Hughes of Grant Hughes Investigates on YouTube. This channel evaluates all aspects of true crime. As you are aware, videos and live streams in this genre often discuss elements of crime that may be disturbing to some viewers. If necessary, take the precautions needed to avoid these feelings. Factual information related to cases is the key to fostering rational true crime discussions. Fortunately, you will find that here. Please hit the like button only once, share the video, and subscribe if you like my content. Thank you very much for watching. Whoa. What's going on, freakazoids? I don't know if the camera's live or anything. I have no idea. For the dogs. How's it going, everybody? How's it going? Hey, thanks, Jim Lon.
Gigawatts. What the hell is a gigawatt?
What the hell is a gigawatt? Yeah. Anyways, I made a video. I put it out there today. I kind of went over like 4 different parts. Most people seem to get it, but there's people that just almost seem to intentionally try not to understand. You know? I don't get it. It's weird. In the comments section. Like they say exactly the opposite. Like they'll say, Gray, you said this, and then it's exactly the opposite of what I said. You know? Strange stuff. But Ashley Banfield had some information on her show yesterday. So I put a link to the whole video in the description if you want to go watch she had an interview with CeCe Moore, which wasn't much different than the interview that we did over here with Dr. Colleen Fitzpatrick regarding DNA, etc. But when if you really just sit around and think about it, when you have mixture of DNA, I get why it's so hard to separate it. Just think about it for a moment. Let's say you were just trying to get even just a CODIS profile of a mixture. Well, once you got to you're going through it, you can find the different segments, but how do you know which person it goes with? Because humans share like 99.9% of their DNA, but then there's these little sections that are different that mutate. And then, so you can find those segments, but how do you know which one it belongs to? So that's why if you have a known person and you can eliminate that person, all the different segments, etc., and then that the remainder is likely just another individual. But if you have like 3 different people, oh man, forget it. It's pretty wild. Thank you, Matthew Price. And of course, the video did. It's just sort of didn't do great again. I mean, I'm not peddling conspiracies, so it doesn't get sold. YouTube is like, yeah. Somebody actually literally sent me a video today, going, "Great, check it out. I know you got to look into this. It's wild." And this lady that shouldn't be even doing true crime was talking about how, and the gender has nothing to do with it. It's just the lack of any semblance of knowledge. I mean, it was just unbelievable. She's playing this thing where the sheriff in a early press conference said, "Yeah, we got there late Saturday night." Okay, well, I mean, it would have been Sunday night, right? Because Saturday night is when she went over to eat. So it's an error. That's all it is, like a mistake in speaking. Instead, it's like, oh my God, it's a conspiracy. Oh my God, what's happening here? What's happening? And then they show this other, then that same lady shows a clip from another YouTuber who shows that an incident report was filed on Saturday evening too, but it had a different address. But she goes, yeah, it's a different address. But anyways, what if it is the same one? but it isn't. It's a different address on there. You know, like you showed an address. It wasn't the same. And you said, but what if it is? That's what they do on Ancient Aliens, the show. It's that stupid. Yeah, let's see. There's this unusual stone that we found. It was glistening on all sides. And it was on a mantle in a village. So is it possible that this rock came from an alien spacecraft and was placed in this village? And if that's true, is it also not possible that the entire civilization within this community developed based on what they could see inside that stone? And if that's true, isn't it possible that people from that community went out to other communities and also spread that knowledge? Therefore, the entire basis of the knowledge on our planet is from a glistening stone inside of a village. We figured it out, everybody. We figured it out. Yeah, that's what these people do. Oh man, you guys are still into the high mode. Hi. Hello. I mean, you know what? Next time I'm not even going to start talking for 20 minutes until all the hellos are gone. Because you don't have to say, when somebody says hello, you can just say hello back. You don't need to say hello to the 75 other people who said hello, because if you do that, then it ends up being mathematically 16 million hellos when the show starts. Okay? Gosh, Green, they're just saying hello. Yeah, I get it. It's a joke. But, man, look up there. Look up there, you guys. I just went on this long thing, and it was actually kind of funny about the ancient aliens, and all you see up above is high for 8 minutes. Wow, unbelievable. Let's see. I mean, it's just unreal, you guys. I mean, like, everybody says hi, but everybody doesn't have, you can just say hello, everyone. You know what I mean? Hello, everyone. How's it going? Gosh, Gray, they just feel a sense of, like, hello, everybody. Yeah. Or, hola, that works too, And I really don't care. I'm just saying, I went through this long, pretty well worded ancient aliens example, and there wasn't one response to the whole thing, because that's exactly what these people do. I mean, don't you think it's absurd for somebody to say, hey, look at let's see, there was a report filed on Saturday night of a like an older person missing, and look at it, it's at 7:00 on Saturday, and then they even point out, but it has a different address below, but they go, but if it is her, that supports the thing that the sheriff said. This is making no sense. Well, first of all, the sheriff it didn't make sense because it was an error in speaking. Obviously, it wasn't Saturday when he was over there. I mean, what's going on? Why would you even think there was anything other than that? And then the second one was just posting an incident report that had nothing to do with Nancy Guthrie. All right, so that's what the answer is to the video, but it was content. So they put out about a 14-minute video talking about absolute nonsensical garbage for likes, views, and subs. Isn't that amazing? It wasn't true. None of it was. Oh God, we're still in the high mode. Oh my God. Hi. Here, let's just do it. Let's get it over with. All right. Hold on. Hi, hello. Hey, 1520. Say hello, 1530, 3540. Hello. Hi. Say hello. Say hello. Hi. Say hello. Yeah, there we go. We done? All right, cool. All right. Jesus, this is unreal. Oh my God, it just keeps going. Yeah. All right, cool. Thanks. That's it. I'm just kidding. But what I do suggest is instead of having 97 people say hello that you got to say hello back to, just say hello, everybody. All right. That's what I'll suggest. I have been Dr. Griffin, but you know what? I'll tell you what's one thing I don't deal with when somebody comes in and tells me when to start my show. I've already been talking. Okay. But when you make comments like that, you don't last very long. I just got to be honest with you. Yeah. I don't care, Grant. Well, either do I. You get it? That's the whole point. That's why I'm telling you that. Yeah. It's weird, isn't it? So you make another comment like D. Griffin and you're out of here. All right. Just letting you know. Let's see. Okay. It's out of my system. We can proceed. Yeah. Right. Well, I was already proceeding. I don't know if she was ever dating. It's kind of hard to date when you're, I'm just saying, like, if you can, it seems like it's hard for her to get out of the house for a long period of time. Now, well, yeah, what was the other thing that she brought up? She goes, oh, yeah, it doesn't make any sense, the timeline. You know what's funny? She goes, it doesn't make any sense, the timeline. Tommaso says when he dropped her off, he was there for 2 minutes and then he left. And I was thinking, man, that sounds exactly like the timeline. 9:48 and then 9:50. Door shuts, he's out of there. And then she's like, what person could walk her to the door in 2 minutes, man? There's no way. Look at, he pulled up, they open the garage door, and they walk like 10 yards across the garage, open the door, let her in, and then walk back out, the garage door shuts. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. She was dating. It's not going to be a lover that went nuts, okay? All right, let's listen to this is what Ashley Banfield had to say before her longer interview with CeCe Moore yesterday.
It is day 21, which, as you well know, means that we are basically at the
Let me see if I can put a cool effect on here. Let's see, video. I've got this one called, I've had it for years and it still works. It's weird. This filter that I bought that looks, and then we can do like the, people, classic movie star. That'll be good. I like that one. There we go. All right.
3-week mark. It was 3 weeks ago tonight, it's Saturday night as I come to you, that Nancy Guthrie disappeared late into the night on Sunday morning. And that means we're heading into week 4. And that makes it all the more fascinating, the reporting that's coming out today, as well as what I just...
Hey, Emmy, I don't care that you've heard it before. I really don't. Let me ask you guys something. What makes you think it's okay to type stuff like that in? Oh no, Ashley Banfield, is this too? I heard her already. Not going through it again. Okay, get out. Emmy, get out. All right, thank you. God, you're a joke. I mean, who talks like that when you show up to a show?
Discovered from my source just sort of puts me in a whole different direction now. I've spoken to someone who is in law enforcement, is familiar with the investigation, who's told me that the blood found, and again, blood found inside the house. This is something that I reported on day 3, that another source of mine, a high-level law enforcement source, reported there was blood found inside the house. No one in law enforcement, the sheriff, et cetera, has confirmed that. But my source said there was blood found in the house today, another law enforcement source familiar with the investigation has said that the pattern of that blood inside the house matches the pattern outside the house.
I'm not sure what that means, you know, because outside the house there's excoriated blood pattern or spatter, but she says that the droplets match. Yeah, sure. I mean, I can see that. She's dripping blood from her nose, or seems like it's her nose or something, and it's dropping, and then she goes outside and then coughs and then goes, continues on. That's what it seems like.
House outside Nancy's front door. So you've seen that video where you can see droplets of Nancy Guthrie's blood.
They always keep leaving out the expirated blood. You guys ever notice that? Like every single, they very rarely mention that. It's such a huge thing too.
Leading away from her front door. And
because if you just say that there's blood droplets, you can easily say that she was removed when she wasn't alive. But hey guys, if you could help support the channel, that'd be great. My video didn't do well at all today, so now back to relying on the people watching the show to help support the channel. We need channel memberships, we need super chats, etc. Last night we donated $500 to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. We try to donate thousands of dollars every single month out of the income as well. So if you have the ability to help support the channel, I would appreciate it. We're having one of those rough starts yet again.
Down the gravel path to the driveway. But those pattern droplets, as many experts have described it, are as vertical. They're
like she's moving really slowly,
90 degrees. And there's no smears, there's no step.
See, the thing is, if you're walking really slowly and a blood droplet drops, eventually it starts going straight down. You might have a little momentum as you're walking, but then it goes, and then the gravity takes over and it goes straight to the ground.
In it, there's no struggle, there's no signs of struggle on that front doorstep. My source tells me it is exactly the same inside the house, that there's no sign of struggle in that blood. It's not smeared, there's no steps. They are those straight up and down drop pattern blood. I asked where in the house, and I did not get that answer. I can't tell you if it was in the bedroom, if it was in the front entrance. What I can tell you is that at the time that 911 was called and sheriff's deputies were dispatched, and patrolmen came. Basically, it was a call about a missing elderly woman. They were not aware at the time that this was much more than missing elderly woman, but the signs. Again, and this is the second source now telling me this, is that the back door was wide open.
Right. So there you go. I mean, now it sounds like we've heard this from the beginning, that the back door was wide open. And I think that's exactly what, I think that's how they got into the house. And it's in the backyard and sort of a secluded area. Maybe they left it open for a quick exit if you needed to get out of there. Don't know. But I think that's the time that the camera in the back at 2:12 set off it recorded a motion. And if you watch my video today, it's certain. Remember that one, I can't remember who it was. Oh yeah, no, it was TMZ. They tried to claim that the Ring doorbell camera at 2:12 at 1:47 was actually, that isn't the motion that was detected, or that same camera detected the motion at 2:12. But that's impossible. You know why? Because at 1:47 that camera was disconnected from the network. So that camera cannot have detected a motion at 2:12. It has to be a different camera on the property. Thank you, Wild Bill Wassman.
The blood droplets were inside the house and outside the house, and the front camera had been knocked off its mount. My first source said smashed, cameras plural, nest. Second source now saying definitely camera knocked off or ripped off or moved off in some way. And so this is just fascinating because
wait, let me hear that.
Inside the house and outside the house, and the front camera had been.
Hold on.
Source now saying definitely camera knocked off or ripped off or moved off in some way.
Yeah, so it wasn't smashed. I think that's what she said, right?
Telling me this is that the back door was wide open. The blood droplets were inside the house and outside the house, and the front camera had been knocked off its mount. My first source said smashed, cameras plural, nest. Second source now saying definitely camera knocked off or ripped off or moved off in some way.
But the camera wasn't found, right?
And so this is just fascinating because at the same time that I'm learning this information about these blood droplets inside the house matching blood droplets, the same pattern outside the house, there's reporting that comes from NBC that the sheriff has given an interview to NBC, taped it yesterday, it was released today, and I'm recording this at 10 o'clock at night, Saturday, February 21st. And this is what the reporting says, that there are no names that the sheriff's team is looking into. And there's a snag with the mixed DNA at the Florida lab that the sheriff is using.
The filter looks pretty good on that. Yeah.
What's interesting is Michael Ruiz from Fox says, look, this runs completely counter to what we've been told till now, or at least what we've discovered. Reporters and investigators who are looking into this case have discovered the statements from local law enforcement do not match what we've learned with our own eyes, that there are names that have been
I don't think she gets it from Savannah.
taken.
I think she's got like a internal FBI source, and I think she gives out accurate information. I think she was correct when she said that they were looking into the husband of one of Nancy's daughters, because they did. Remember how many people were over there with cameras and so forth? They were looking into that.
Mm-hmm. And photographs to various gun shops all around Tucson. Gun shop owners and workers have actually been on television talking about it, running the names that they were given through their system. None of them apparently coming up positive at this point. So maybe it's semantics, but there were names. It's just that maybe those names haven't panned out. But again, it's the clarity is not there with regard to what the sheriff is saying. There's no names the team is looking into. FBI was certainly looking into names, upwards of 40. Brian Enton said upwards of 40. Other reporters saying several dozen. Photographs as well being taken around to local gun shops. It's also unclear at this point. If
they're taking 40 names to gun shops and saying, have you seen these people or any of these people? That is just such a wild fishing expedition I guess they could be doing it almost like a lineup where you throw faces in there that aren't the one, and they want to see if they can pull the one out that they think. I don't know.
If the DNA that was recovered inside the house, the male profile, unknown male DNA that didn't match Nancy Guthrie or any of those people who are close to her, it's unclear if it's been used. This is sad. This is something that, this is coming from how the sheriff has interviewed with NBC. And it's frustrating because the sheriff said that the lab that he's using is having trouble isolating mixed DNA samples. He said again that everything's still being analyzed, but this is troubling because we've been wondering why. We got a report back so quickly on gloves 2 miles away that had DNA in them that was, sent off to CODIS, returned back, no hits, and also doesn't match DNA that's in the house. But now we're learning that this is a struggle.
Yeah, it is hard to do the mixes unless you have, it's only two different sources, and one of the other sources. Then you can basically subtract out the one that But if you don't know, you don't have the sequence of one of the individuals, then it's just a nightmare. You don't have any way to. I was wondering, okay, let's say you have a mixture of DNA, and then, what would happen if I actually kind of solved it in my own head why it wouldn't work, but I thought, okay, you swab, and there's a mixture, and then mix it up really well, and then find like an area of the DNA sequence, and then, you know, figure out what's the percentage that same portion shows up in all of the DNA that you have. And it's like, okay, let's say that's 53%. Well, can you assign the same thing? Okay, so then the next one, it should show up 53% of that one. You can keep pulling out the one that's got the 53%, but I don't think it works like that. I mean, I was just thinking, you know, what if you swab it and then there's a whole bunch of the other person's here, then the swab goes into the other ones and you mix. It didn't make sense after I thought about it, but I don't know how they would do this. If you don't know one of them, I do not know how you can do it. Doesn't seem possible. There's so many millions and millions of things that you could get wrong. Maybe at some point they'll be able to figure it out. But hey, guys, if you could help support the channel, that'd be great. We're absolutely struggling. We're currently at 1/30th of just a normal nightly goal. So if you have the ability to do that, that would be great. Last night was a negative night because we did a donation of 500, and you have to bring in 750 just to make that match. What about the whole neighbor guy? He seems to be a bit. What do you mean the whole neighbor guy? What does that mean when you just say the whole neighbor guy? It's just, you know, try to be more specific. You know, remember the other day when the guy goes, "Hey, Gray, they found a glove next to the side of the road." And I said, "Where?" They just said, "Oh, yeah, just next to the side of the road." Well, there's a side of road in the entire country, everywhere. It's all over the place. There's a side of the road. Yeah, well, if they must know that they don't have whatever they swab, they don't have, and it's a mixture. It isn't Nancy's DNA in there, or they could have subtracted hers out. They don't have it. Thanks, Allie Cake. Man, you know, like the whole neighbor thing. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know what that means. Oh, yeah. What about the weirdo neighbor guy? You're not talking about the one that had a cell phone and he was looking at the he was looking at like the wall or something with a cell phone. You know what, you guys? That was like 8 miles away. That was so far away. It's amazing. Thanks, Peters. The shoe guy. I definitely had to bring that up. I don't. Mm-hmm. I don't know which one you're referring to, News Crasher, but hey, thanks a lot there, Jim Lawn. All right. You know, so just in his honor, we got to play the
1.21 gigawatts. What the hell is a gigawatt?
There you go. We have a weird neighbor. If you don't, that likely means it's you. Yeah. Here's what I will tell you. A lot of the ex-law enforcement, sort of, you know, especially in the political cases, the sort of special forces people, they always turn it into a shit show. While I absolutely respect them for their service over there, their ability to cover true crime logically most of the time is just mind-boggling. You know, just conspiracy after conspiracy after conspiracy. And then a lot of the ex-detectives and whatnot that are on YouTube are just some of the worst. No wonder they're not still working there anymore. I mean, it's just they cannot think their way out of a shoebox. So there you go. It's pretty crazy. Just they lost the ability to use common sense. They overthink it because they remember this one case where there was this one guy who was like this. So therefore, this is just like that one. Hello, Carl. How's it going, Carl? No, we're not going to do his blowfish. That was a long time ago. Why are we still talking about that? Jesus. Let's see. I just hate how they call non-ex-detectives streamers. I don't know. Aren't we all streamers? I mean, I call myself a true crime YouTuber. I'm one of the few channels that literally is true crime, where we try to figure out actually what happened. Yeah. And then, in the comments today, you have so many people that are commenting about, oh, there's a person in the bushes over there. Where is it? Where is the person? You can see the front of a car, Gray. It's right there. You can see the front of a car. Where is it? Where's the front of the car? It's in the driveway, Gray. It's in the driveway. You can see it. Where? I don't see it at all. There's no car there. You're just not looking right, Gray. You're just not look. Oh wait, what was the one today? Said they also said, oh look at it lights it up in there, right there. Look at ooh, see right there when the light. Ooh. See when it got light right there. You can see it like a bam, boom, and then there's this whole thing going on over here, and that must be oh. Well, you know what that is? That's the bite flashlight. Watch the movement of that compared to the light on the wall. Boom. Oh, then he puts his head around there. Oh, there, now it's hitting it. Oh. Then he turned that way and it went the other way. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. You see how it's just so simple to explain the thoughts that a lot of people have, but they don't even want to find the answer. Right there. Now, if you're wondering what this stuff is, these are rods from the aliens. Remember the whole thing about rods? But look at this right here is a bug. And because of the slow shutter speed, it shoots by. Okay, that's what that is right there. It's a moth or whatever it is. A moth in February, Gray. Well, it's a little warmer there. Okay. Jesus. Right, it's a bug. It's not dust. It's something flying by. I remember that it was even in the Idaho 4 case, the same thing. And they go, "What's that, guy? What is that? What is it?" It's called a bug. It's just a bug. I mean, these people go apoplectic, as my mom would say, when they see something. There's just something there. Look, right there, everybody. Can you see that light? Look. Oh, it got covered up by something. Well, no, because it's a whole different scene there. You can see the light through. Oh, and then it goes away. Why did it go away? Was that him smoking a cigarette or something? Or could it be that there's a little bit of breeze out there and it's moving the trees a little bit, Hey, it looks like I made you laugh there, April. Come on, you know it. It is. It's a psycho killer bug. How do we know the bug isn't part of an alien species that actually had a ship just above? Let's see. All right, who's going to do a challenge tonight, you guys? We're struggling right out of the gate here. We're just not. This doesn't seem to be the pace that's going to make it. I guess some don't mind being lied. Well, no, people go on. I don't think there's very many true crime YouTuber people that watch, is what I'm trying to say. Viewers. I think they're more into Like what's fun and sensationalistic to watch. That's the reality of it. All right, let's see. I had a couple things in here. That wasn't it. I'm just looking at this. There's somebody that was sending me these videos, but I haven't edited them or anything. They're really certain it's the person. You know, that night they detained 3 people, not the dailies, but another person. They're really certain it's the other person. They've done these things where they hold up, like they actually Xerox the image and then hold it up over an image and slide it over. I mean, yeah, it's mildly interesting, but it's not like you're finding it out. They've actually already figured it out. Like they've already looked at this person. Wow. So no challenges, huh? I just said that, Mel. I said it was a moth. Good Lord. Let's see. The more outrageous they are, must bring in money. Right. Well, that's why, like, I put out that video earlier today. It was a really good video. And it only has 4,000 views. Because they watch it and go, yeah, it's cool. I'm not going to recommend it, though, because I like to recommend the ones that have the crazy stuff in there. Oh, look at that. There's 3-headed monster walking in the background. It's wild, man. You guys can't even hit the like button, for God's sakes. Yeah. So where are people saying that there's a car out here parked? Where is that? There's nothing there. That's just a driveway. But here's what I got, you guys. I found this site a while back that I pay monthly for, and look at that, isn't that cool? Like this is actually, you can get a hold of the 3D model, and I can put it into Google Earth, and it literally keeps the size. This object here is literally the exact same size in feet, and then it has the hill. Like, see how that's what it looks like. The street's right down there, and it goes up a hill on both sides. And I was thinking of using this to make like an animation or some sort, where, just my animation, where I can have the vehicle coming down the street right here, or parking somewhere, and then a person walking, going over here, then walking back out, and then goes to the car, and then moves the car into here after waiting 20 minutes or so. Then you see him get out, walk around, go back to the back over here. It looks better in this program, though. In Blender. But hey, guys, I don't know if you're hearing what I'm saying, but we need to get the support for the channel up tonight. We're way behind, and I don't want it to be a night where I have to ask 1,700 times again. It's not fun. It's stressful. So if you can do that, I would appreciate it. So Wild Bill has to do it again? Jeez. Well, thanks, Wild Bill. But don't feel like you got to do these things, though. I don't know why other people can't do them as well, but I appreciate you doing that. So here it is. Wild Bill Wassman is doing a challenge where if you guys give 5 of you gift 1 membership, he'll do 5 all by himself. There you go. I think this will be pretty sweet, though. Have a camera. I mean, it already looks kind of neat, doesn't it? Let's see what it looks like with if I put an actual one of the cameras in here. Probably a free camera. and rotate it right there, like that. Hey, thanks, Joel Burnt. Just like that. And let's see what that looks like. That's behind it. Yeah, this is 214 feet. I'm not sure what, let's see, Z. Looks like 8 feet off the ground, or I don't know, something of zero, above zero there. Yeah, so it'd be pretty much like that. It's not going to be the greatest looking building in the world, but I think it would work. Hey, thank you, April. So let's say at the beginning, you had it rotated over there, maybe. And then a car's driving. And then, you know, I don't know, you could just, I guess it'll just be, you guys have to wait and see it. I think it'll look pretty cool, though. So looking through that, if I render it out, does it look bad? I mean, I could even do it with, what's the point? Everything's the right height and everything. And I like that. It looks really good in Blender, though. Like if you open up Blender, I'll show you. I'm just not proficient with Blender. I mean, I've learned a little bit over the years, but look how good it looks in here. Look at that. And that's better. I just don't know how to use it as well. But look at that. I mean, that's way just sort of smoother, everything. See? This one looks a little harder, not quite as good a, you know, putting all the pieces together. All right, we need 3 more, you guys. 3 more gifted memberships, please. Hey, that's fine. Hey, Zep, you don't have to do any. Nobody has to send in anything. I just try to make it happen, you know. Yeah, so if that's all you got, you shouldn't even send it in. I would keep it. You know, I don't want you to feel like you can't go buy a milk or something. In my 70s, I've never heard until now that fams play kidnap games as kids. For under, yeah, that whole thing doesn't, I don't even care about that. That's in a book. And it might turn out that that's what gave somebody an idea to do whatever they're doing. The family has nothing to do with it. You know, Savannah, but it could be, you know, who knows if her sister, you know, that's still open out there, right? Mm-hmm. But hey, guys, we keep just going on and on and on. We got to try to reach the challenge goal first in here so that we can move forward in the night. We're still just absolutely struggling in here. All right, we just need 3 more gifted channel memberships, and then Wild Bill will do 5. My 70, yeah. I think this will be cold. Well, if they can't get something out of the DNA, the glove thing is totally fishing and a fishing expedition now. And I guess nobody's hearing. Yeah, it's not even the same scenario. Like in the book, it talks about how, let's see, Savannah and Annie would be abducted by their aunt, not, their aunt. And then the aunt would call up Nancy and go, hey, come get them, I mean, it's just goofy. It's funny. It's fun. It's not really abducting them. It's a joke, It'd just be like, oh, she'd take them and, and nobody was scared or anything like that. And it's not even, there's no correlation other than the word abduction. Yeah, I don't know, man. Wild Bill Wassman, pretty tough tonight. I'm not sure what's happening. Well, they're going to keep pouring it in, probably for the FBI will be anyways, at least until, if Trump tells them not to, I guess. He said that they, pour all the resources in there. Okay, now we have a Jim Lawn double down. Okay, so that means if you guys just do the 3 other channel memberships, not only will Wild Bill Wassman match all 5 of you guys that did that, but Jim Lawn will also match the 5. Okay? Doesn't that motivate anybody? It's like, come on, you guys. We're getting near the end of the month. We're on the 22nd. This is a short one, I think. Is this month 28 days, or I'm not sure when leap year is. Yeah. Hey, thanks so much there, Coco Love. Look at somebody sent me. Oh my God. They said if you zoom in, this is what you can see. That's pretty funny. Is that Sirius Gray? Yep. Let's see. Oh, even years? Okay. So this year is going to be, well, then it's this year then, right? 2026. So is there 29 in this one? Wow. Well, this is 2026. You said they were even. I guess the last one was 2024 then. It's every 4 years. It's not every 2 years. I didn't know when the last one was. Is there a reason it's hard tonight to get the challenges met? This is the only way to make it here, you guys. We just need 2 more gifted channel memberships. What do you do to stay in shape? I'm not really in great shape, but I do walk a lot. But, I mean, I can walk a lot. I just feel like I don't know. It seems like when you get older, it's hard to lose weight and stuff like that. Hey, what happened, Sherry C? What happened? I'm not going to theorize where the body could be. It would just be pure guess at this point. There we go. Look at that. Path Sweeper just jumped in, bypassing the other ones. Thank you up there to Coco Love, and we have April Star and Joel Burnt. There we go. Very cool. All right. So what questions do you guys have still? We can talk about anything related to the case. We've covered so many thousands of cases on this channel, so we are able to talk about anything and have a really good idea. So go ahead. Hey, there you go. Look at that. There's Wild Bill Wassman. And I guess if Jim Lawn wants to do that. Let's see, where is that? Oh yeah, walking in Australia bush can be a little dodgy. Yeah. Anyways, thank you guys. Appreciate it. And I got your address all in there. Coco for the notebook. All right. You held. Let's see what happened this time. I don't get it. I don't really get it. What does that mean, Elpis? What does that even mean? It just doesn't make any sense. Try to, when you're coming in, you try to make a joke. Try to have it be mildly humorous. You know, like have some element that might get the slightest chuckle. How far away could he get with Nancy based on the? Oh man, yeah. I mean that's a good question there. Like, let's say he took off and he just drove. He could probably be 600 miles away if he just drove. Thank you, Jim Lawn. 1.21 gigawatts. And welcome all the new members out there. If you'd stick around and stay a member, there's cheap options to do so. When they ask how to keep in shape, yeah, it just doesn't, you know. Fish oil, though, if you don't want to get, I think that works pretty good for stuff. All kinds of different. You don't get eczema if you. I think if you eat fish oil, this is my opinion. Like two, you know, get the really good one. Take two of those, and man, you don't get those dry eczema. Like I used to get, like when I fished, these dry fingers, but I don't get those anymore. And they crack and cut and stuff. Yeah, it could be a local person. Yeah, I don't know how close the person is, but. I don't know why we're frozen on that image right there. Ideas on why he took her body. Well, because she is body. If she, well, we don't know if she's deceased. She wasn't dead when she left the house. See, somebody in the comment section said, or before the show started, said something. It was almost kind of ludicrous. They were like, well, Gray, if you look really close, you can see it looks like it's a silencer. And he went there to kill her. And then I said, well, then how come he took her? That sounds like that's just a hit. You would go in, shoot somebody, and leave. Why would you shoot her and then leave? That doesn't make any sense at all. You should, Lucy. You know, just take it for like a month, 2 months, and then you really just. I mean, your nail, you know, like even your nails grow better. They don't have the same cracks in it. I don't know. It's just strange. All the stuff it seems to do. Plus, it's good for your, like, you know, your cardiovascular system. Yeah, it does seem to, it works for me. I'm not a doctor, but I can just tell you it seems to do a lot of good things. I get. All right. So I'll tell you what. So I'm going to tell you what I think again. I'm still waiting for somebody to tell me something that doesn't make sense. What I'm saying. All right, so 147. I don't know when that other picture was taken, so I'm just going to leave it out of the story. It doesn't matter. At 147, 147, just prior to that, probably 145, he's messing around over here, and then he grabs the plant over there. You know, Nancy had made it home. She's in bed. We know this. I mean, I guess I can't say she's in bed. She's at home this whole time because her pacemaker is connected to her phone, and they know her phone is at home. All right. Then at 147, a person shows up, and they're right around in this area. It could have been 145 or whatever. And then 147, after the portion where there's the weed, he tears off the camera. Now, did he break the camera? Because it said it disconnected from the network. So it seems like he would have had to like damage it, because just holding it outside right there should still have a Wi-Fi connection around, right? But anyways, that's right at 147. And that means that camera is out of play. It has no more motion detected on it, because that you'll be able to discover because it's not on the network anymore. And then at 212, a different camera picked up motion because there's other cameras that are still in working order. It has the same problem the front door camera has, because there's no subscription being paid for. The video that was recorded goes out, and it's not really even in video format because you haven't paid your subscription, but it does keep it in a format that can be back engineered if you needed to. And it actually writes it, but it's already able to be written over again. But motion was detected, I think, on this camera right there. That's 212. And then I would say like right around like 214 or so is when the person who enters the home confronts Nancy, and you'll see this on her pacemaker heart monitor, that there's this hugely elevated, sped up, just tons of stuff going on. You'll see that, and that's probably like 214, 215, and then at 228, she's in the house, by the way, before that, and she's bleeding from somewhere on her face, probably out her nose, probably has a bloody nose of some sort. And then at 228, she's removed from the front of the house. But let me go. I got to go back in time, though. I got to go back in time. So at 148, after 148, or 147, when the camera was disconnected, the person walks away for a while and waits to see if law enforcement shows up. So, you know, maybe they were over here somewhere, just waiting around, waiting to hear sirens, see if there's lights. You can see any lights or anything. So about 20 minutes later, nothing shows up. So they get in their car and they drove it around like this and parked it right in this area here. That's the reason that the person disabled the camera in the front of the house. Then after they parked here, they get out of the car, and that's, 207, 208. They walk around, and that's when at 212, this camera picks them up, goes into the house. Like I said before, 214 runs into Nancy in the house, or, I think they meant to run into her. It wasn't like it was accidental. And then Nancy's coming out the front, and right as she's coming out the front is about the time her inserted pacemaker does not connect to the cell phone anymore. And she's been removed from the home. And she was bleeding all the way from inside the house, all the way to the end of the driveway. Anyways, thanks up there to Kami, Path Sweeper, FBI, offered $10 million case solved. You know what? I actually don't know. I'm not a big fan of those rewards. They don't seem to ever really do anything. How many cases have you seen that were solved because a reward was put out? Michelle H. and then Kami again. Gray, how much do you think the reward will need to be for someone to talk? I think it's already at a place where if somebody really needed money, they would have said something. Yeah, 250,000 is, I just, let's see. How often? I think rewards get people involved more. You know, there's tips that are being sent in, but they're just people. I think a lot of psychics jump in. Okay, I'm just looking this up. Let's see. Rewards in criminal cases rarely lead directly to a paid out result. See, with only about 15 to 20% of offered rewards actually being claimed, and that's actually higher than I was thinking. In most U.S. areas, let's see, while they can generate tips, that's what I was just saying, and publicity, many rewards go unclaimed because they often require a conviction or formal charges, and tipsters may fear retaliation or act for. I don't think that's the reason at all. I just don't think it works because there's usually the crimes that they put these out on there's very few people that know anything. Like, for example, Koberger's case, you could have put $10 million down there and it wouldn't have led to a soul. You know why? Because he didn't tell anybody. They just found him because he left the knife sheath that had his DNA on it. Anyways, that doesn't work. Well, maybe there's one right there. Hey, good for him. One person. There you go. Hey, I said they just aren't common though. Oh my God! Can we check out the right? Yeah, we see there's a bulge in there. Yeah. I don't think. I see something when he's walking up and turning away. What do you think we're going to be able to see what it is? All right, who's going to do the next challenge out there, you guys? We're still really far. We're not even at 50%. Just barely got to 50%. So. Uh-oh. Okay, that might. I don't know. It's stuck. It's not moving. Let me close it. Then I'll open it again. Uh-oh. Why couldn't it be saved? Oh, shoot, man. I wonder if my... Uh-oh. Things are starting to get messed up in here. Let's see. Let me just make sure. It should work. I'll save as Guthrie. Yeah, right there. Project already exists. Yeah. Do 2. Yeah, look at it. It's just frozen. It's like, let's see if that's going to work. Saving project. It's trying to do something. What's happening? I don't know. I'm trying to, it looks like there's some possibly like connectivity to a external drive that's not working. See how that it's not even letting me do anything with that. Hey, good night. Yeah, see, the project cannot be saved. Why not? Do I have permission to write to this location? The hell are you talking about? Weird. Here, I'm going to try to do something with that drive. All right, we'll see. We'll see. Could be this one over here too. Let's see. Hey, thanks, K-Me. I don't know, not the ones I get. I get the SDD, like 4 terabytes. Oh boy. I'm gonna shut this down and then try opening it again. We'll see. They're like $600 for those things. Yeah, that doesn't. I'm not even sure what that means. DDR5 PC. What the hell's that? That doesn't mean anything. Maybe other people will think it means something. Let's see. How do you know she was on her stomach? Because she dripped down and coughed straight down. She wasn't on her stomach, though. She just bent over to cough, in my opinion. If somebody was carrying her out, there would have been, what's going on? Let's see, file. Jesus. What the hell's happening with this? They would have stepped on it. If there was somebody in front and somebody in the back, they would have stepped on her. The person in the back would have stepped on her blood, and that didn't happen. Man, this is open project. Okay. So if I go to... Oh, see, it's not there. Oh, boy. Okay, well, I'm not... that's probably why I couldn't detect anything. It's 8 to 24 inches, yeah. I'm the one that figured all this stuff out. I'm the first YouTuber to say, of anybody, even the high-tech, crime scene, everybody, I said, look, there's expirated blood right there. That's crazy. And then I actually had to tell people that are experts that, yeah, look, there's expirated blood. And they're like, oh, wow, that's crazy. And now they all talk about it on the shows when they have a chance. But you know. And then we've used ChatGPT to figure out, based on how small the sort of the focus of the ring is where the coughing is, and it being a 12-inch tile, how high would the person be to make it look like that? And it said 8 to 24 inches. Right? So, if it's a 24 inches, you're bending over from the knee, maybe slightly down. You're kind of crouching and like, ugh, coughing, and then you kind of you're still being forced to move. Well, I just told you what it was, peacefully. I said it's 8 to 24 inches, okay? You don't know any more than anybody else, so you can't be specific. Oh, jeez. Just go do something else. Let's see. Randy. I've heard it sold at Walmart. Let me go. I got to try to let me get this. Try to get that drive working again. Hold on. Oh boy, I don't know. This is kind of freaky. That doesn't seem to work. Yeah, see you later, John. You already said that 5 times. I'm trying to get the drive to work that has the information in it. Yeah, it's not connecting to the key hard drive that I use. I don't know. I guess what we could do is I could just ramble on like this, or I could I know, Bengal Cat. I know, Bengal Cat. I was just about to say I could reboot my computer, and I'd be. I'm not sure how that works, actually. I don't know. Yes, it's just happening during the show. You can't just turn your computer off while you're live streaming. Okay? I mean, you can, and then I can try to jump back on, but I can't use the software that I was using. I'd have to use a different software to reconnect. Yeah, everybody knows if you reboot, it fixes things. Everybody in the world knows that. I don't think there's a soul that doesn't know that if you reboot, that it'll fix it. What the hell is a drive? I don't know. I'm just figuring out, thinking if I can't really end the stream. I'd have to have it keep going. Yeah, it's just a storage one. I know what I actually know what I'm doing. I don't need any help in fixing the drive. I do this stuff all the time. What I'm trying to, I was trying to do it while I'm live and not have to reboot. But that's the one that has all the video files, every single thing that's related to this case is on that one. I unplugged them, plugged them back in, didn't work. Turned them off, plugged them back in. It didn't seem to work. Jeez. Well, I think what I'm going to do is I'm not answering you guys' question. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to shut this off, and then I'm going to leave the same stream will be up. You guys can chat and stuff. I'm not going to do it. And then what I'm going to do is quit telling me what to do, you guys. I know what I'm doing. All right. So here we go. I'm going to go get rid of this right here. I'm going to reboot and see if it connects. All right. Thanks. Are you guys there? It looks like it's trying. Hey, look at that. I gotta fix all the cameras and everything. Look where they put me. Way down, like I fell off the screen. That's hilarious. Yep. And the J drive is back up and running. See, didn't need all that extra stuff. Let's see. So I gotta zoom in. Hey, how about that? Is that good? All right. Yeah. Hey, 182 if you stuck around. All right. The guy was all pissed off that we weren't looking at the pocket. And it's like, dude, I'm trying to get everything's on that drive that you wanted me to look at. Oh, the audio, that's from the other one. Okay. I was using StreamYard before. Now StreamYard is not being used. So I'm over here. Line. Yeah, it shouldn't be that low. Wow, it is low over there. How come? Oh, now it's okay. There you go. When I first clicked on line MG10XU, it said it was at 100%, but it was only, then it switched to 43. So maybe that's it. Testing. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. It seems kind of low still, anyway. One. Yeah, I guess it's okay. Wow. Crazy. So let's see. Now I think when I hit Premiere, it'll have all these files that I already had opened because it now connect. Every single file is on that drive that I've used. Hey, thank you. And thank you up there to Path Sweeper. Don't tell me it shows, but God, I hope it's not doing that. Hold on. I see it there.